Hello. In this example video, we're going to cover the Stripe checkout element or creating a checkout element in Salesforce with Stripe. So here I have my Lightning Web component loaded. I can see that I have an example description of a product being my Acme laser gun, the total due, and then a relevant checkout button. So essentially what's happening here in the background. So to go over what this is doing in the back end, I'll open up the example application here that we wrote that's a Lightning Web component. Inside the Lightning Web component, I can see the Stripe example checkout. In here, I'll start with the simple HTML code, which is really me just giving a simple product name, amount due, and then the amount that I want to charge. And then it's calling this get checkout link for the Lightning button. So really all we've done here is program that button to do something. What we're using is, again, the make get call out, and the Stripe API handler package will make all the API calls for us and essentially do the return. So here you can see the first thing we're doing is we're going to go ahead and get a customer. You can see in the variables that we're passing in, I have a customer email address here, and then so we look to see if that customer exists. So we make a simple call out to the Stripe API looking for the email address, and we're just limiting it to one in this example. Once that's returned, then we check if the customer didn't exist. We go ahead and create a customer. Again, this was more of an example to show how flexible this could be in using the Stripe API handler and doing multiple calls very simply from JavaScript in the Lightning Web component. But here you can see we're actually creating a customer. You can see the different URL encoded arguments that we're passing in. Here we're actually including them. Here we're marking it as null because there aren't any for this get example. Once we've created a customer or we've looked up our customer, we go ahead and then this is where we're going to create the checkout link for Stripe. So here we pass in our different URL encoded parameters for that method inside the API, and we're calling the sessions API here. You can see again though the three simple arguments that we always need to have for this make call out are the URL encoded, the method, and the URL. Here we go ahead and make our call out. This is a promise, so we do have to use a wait, but the actual return is a string of JSON, so we do have to parse that on the return. But here you can see we're just doing a window open, so essentially what we're having the button do is redirect us to a new page, and that being the Stripe checkout URL. So let's go ahead and see this in action. So here I'll refresh the page just to make sure nothing is timed out on my Salesforce side. But again, you can see the simple load here and the checkout button that we have. And then once I click checkout, all it's doing at that point is generating a checkout session and then returning the checkout URL to me to actually redirect to via the button. So very simple integration, but allowing me to actually select or accept payments from a Lightning Web component using Stripe checkout. And again, here I have all the different payment methods that I wanted to pass, any card information, name on card, and you can see I actually passed a customer in. As you saw in the code, I was either creating a customer or looking up a customer and then passing them in. So you can see the customer is kind of hard-coded here in the email address, but then I can specify any different payment methods that I would like. Thank you.